Listen to Your Body, Part 1. The Warning. The warning started when I was 38. Pain in my right upper arm, calcification in my right shoulder joint. Calcification happens when calcium deposits build up in the rotator cuff tendons, leading to pain and limited range of motion. In my case, it was related to RSI, repetitive strain injury caused by repetitive mouse use and prolonged time at a computer. Pain, stiffness, tingling, and numbness in the wrist, the arm, the shoulder, the neck, muscles, tendons, nerves. At that time, I worked as an IT specialist and accountant for a multinational corporation with offices in different countries and varying time zones. Around 2006, we moved to a new building and opened new offices across the world, including India. Automation projects were constant, merging databases, e-filing, consolidating accounts for monthly reporting across platforms, and in that period, between 2001 and 2006, emails had also started replacing phone calls and fax machines. I was involved in most of those automation projects, sitting intensively behind my desk for hours without a break, shoulders hunched, muscles tensed, head tilted forward at a 65-degree angle, constantly looking at a monitor. Not a natural nor ergonomically correct posture for a human being. The working hours used to stretch beyond 3 a.m. repeatedly to meet deadlines and catch colleagues in different time zones. Most projects had impossible deadlines. Of course, the pain got ignored. Most of us who work behind a computer have this pain, and most of us ignore it, either because we feel we should not whine, or because our parents modeled us to work hard, or because we have a sense of duty, perfectionism, some kind of expectation set by either ourselves or others. Some employers even expect us to sacrifice ourselves for the company because they see it as a symbol of loyalty to the company and it earns respect and compliments. Where it came from. As kids, having fun and being happy came second place. Being at peace, doing nothing, that was not acceptable. If we were caught sleeping, watching TV, or even reading comic books for too long, we were told we were lazy. To this day, doing nothing makes me feel guilty. My Chinese and African heritage combined probably brought me the karma of hard work, sacrifice, and living in discomfort instead of comfort. In our family, hard work and sacrifice were and still are seen as commendable qualities, essential to a good paying job later in life. That ideal, as it turned out, was not necessarily aligned with happiness. Years of therapy, coaching, and self help sessions kept circling back to one question: what makes me happy? The honest answer took a long time to surface. The truth was, I did not really know. Usually, therapists and coaches ask me to think back to what I loved as a child. The answer, once it came, was simple: dancing, laughing, sharing with close friends and family. As a 4 or 5 year old girl, I loved to put on my bikini, remove the braids from my frizzy, coily hair, put on my mom's makeup, which of course gave her a fit, and dance in front of the TV with my sisters or whoever was visiting. The black and white TV acted as a mirror and music box at the same time. I pretended to be a dancer on stage. Music and dance were always at the core of who I am. In our little island culture, music is ingrained deeply in our African and Caribbean heritage. As a little girl, my dad used to put me on his feet, hold my hands, and dance with me on the beat of Mighty Sparrow's calypso songs and soca songs. Sasaye comes to mind now in nostalgic memory. I loved those moments. They allowed me to be close to my dad, to see him bouncing and laughing, to feel the connection in rare moments of relaxation. My dad was a very responsible and strict person, always with a furrowed face, rarely a smile. His life was work, weighted down by the need to provide for a wife and 3 girls, later 4. His job at the oil refinery did not pay generously. Those times still favored high wages for white people and low wages for smarter black people. He worked extra side jobs to pay the rent, to put food on the table, and the tax system took more than its fair share, of course. After working hours, he was the handyman for the whole family, maintaining and repairing machines at a family laundry, mostly for free. He also fixed dental equipment in his spare time, feeling he could not charge the dentist too much, not realizing that without him, these dentists could not charge their clients their high fees. His work was very valuable. He just never claimed it as such. He was smart, tech savvy. Not surprising. I later checked his astrology chart and confirmed his Jupiter is conjunct Mercury in his native house of Gemini. I take after my dad, with my Jupiter conjunct Mercury in its second native house of Virgo. Mercury rules the mind and communication. Jupiter is the amplifier. My dad loved solving problems, and when he felt relaxed, he loved talking and explaining the technical details of his work. He was a natural teacher. Talking came natural to me as a child too. Unfortunately, both of us were silenced by different circumstances during our lifetimes. There are other aspects in our astrology blueprint that showed me clues about why, but I'll save that for another time. Astrology is a deep passion of mine, and it deserves its own conversation. My dad was usually tired, in a bad mood after a long day at work. As kids, we had to be quiet when he came home. Let him watch the news, read the paper, eat his dinner, wind down. He loved my mom's cooking, and she always made sure it was served promptly when he arrived home. The rest of us ate our warm meals at lunch when we came home from school, so there was barely any interaction with him on weekdays. He did not smoke, he did not drink. My parents were strict about that. No smoking, no drinking, especially no drugs. Later in life, Bo developed a craving for fast food and sugar. That sugar craving, looking back, was almost certainly a way to suppress stress. As my dad grew older, he developed knee problems, partly because of his weight. He weighed 130 kg at some point, built like Mike Tyson. His family has a history of cartilage problems. So, be it from astrology, culture, karma, or the life lessons passed down to us, we were taught to work hard, make long hours, and we had bad bones. The body keeps score. When my right arm started giving me pain after only 7 years of working, I taught myself to use my left arm for the mouse. When my left arm started aching, I alternated between the two, went to physical therapy, and started doing yoga on and off. But still, the pain never left, partly because of the bad desk I had at work, partly because my torso is shorter than the average standard desk and chair ratio, and partly because I hit my elbow directly on my cubital tunnel a few times, causing the nerve to clench. My body was actually telling me that desk work should not be my long term goal. At some point, I did realize that living in pain until retirement was not sustainable. At age 45, I decided I would retire at 50. My plan was to win the lottery, become a millionaire, pay off my house, stop working, and spend more time doing the things I loved. I did win the occasional $20 or $125, but never in the millions. So at age 50, it was time to rethink the strategy and come up with a more realistic plan. In part 2, the search for something different and the morning that changed everything. See you next week.